Iris was in the Somnium earlier.
Yes, we saw.
An unidentified figure tried to stab Iris to death. And Date and Aiba...
Who is that figure?
Probably So himself.
True, he could imagine himself in his Somnium that way. Mr. Date's ego algorithm processed the figure into that particular image.
What are you people talking about? If you're quite done here, hurry up and release me.
Alright, let's check everything first. Is the stalker gonna talk to me again? What I would give to be trapped in there with Reika. Oh, alright.
I want to beat So over the head with that thing.
I see. Apparently you need your dosage increased.
Dosage?
I still don't know what that's about. Alright, Peter. What's this ego algorithm you mentioned?
Imagine the human brain as being made up of two elements: memory and algorithmic structure. The former is preferable because the latter can be problematic. It can output things based on the inputs it is given. To make this easier to understand, compare this to a computer. Memory is like your data stored on a hard disk. The algorithm is the program. This program controls everything, from higher cognitive functions to primitive instinct. This program is what creates the phenomenon of consciousness.
Okay.
In short, it is your ego algorithm, what you call your mind. Recognition, cognition, consciousness. All of these processes are incomprehensible without the ego algorithm. However, the Wadjet system is revolutionizing the way we think about consciousness.
The Wadjet system controls my core programming.
Using Wadjet, we could map the neural circuitry of the human brain. And we discovered a specific circuit that is key to the phenomenon of consciousness. However, we human beings are still unable to fully grasp it. It's far too complicated. But even if we don't understand it, we can still use it. You don't have to understand electromagnetism to use a microwave oven. The Wadjet system is how we are able to extract the sinker's consciousness. That is what makes syncing possible.
So how does it work?
During a sync, the sinker's consciousness, or ego, is brought into the subject's somnium. They enter the subconscious mind, or more accurately, sink into it. At this time, the sinker's memories are left in their original body. Picture an egg. The ego is the egg yolk that goes into the subject's brain. The sinker's memories are the whites, which remain in the shell. The sinker, or rather the sinker as their pure ego, experiences the subject's somnium. But to be precise, it is not only ego. When synced, a modicum of memory data does get sent into the subject's brain. Imagine separating an egg yolk from its whites. No matter how you try, some of the egg whites will always stick to the yolk. This is just like that.
Alright. How about the mysterious figure?
The subject of the sync remembers certain persons or objects that appear in Somnium. But they might not have a clear form. Our dreams are sometimes vague or unclear after all. Even the subject of the dream themselves. I told you earlier that the sinker experiences the dream from the perspective of an observer. That is why the person creating the dream can appear within it. But Perhaps they do not have an objective view of themselves, like a mirror or picture. Perhaps he's never watched himself on television. Rare for a politician, but not unheard of. He lacks that objective picture of himself. He remains stoic and unattached despite his position of power. I find that quite powerful. To be able to put your ego aside and see yourself as God sees you is an ability many charismatic people share.
Or it might not have been him. It doesn't prove anything that it was him.
He may not have a rational, objective assessment of himself. So, even if this figure is ambiguous,
It could be so.
Could be.
indeed.
Could be, but it doesn't guarantee it is. Alright, boss. Can we get an arrest warrant for him?
Are you kidding me? You know that what we find in Somnium can't be submitted as evidence in court. Besides, we don't even know for sure if that figure was so.
True.
You said it was.
I said that it's probably him.
Excuse me? I'm right here. I can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, we know. That doesn't really matter. How about the Somnium earlier?
I saw it on the monitor. Iba saving Iris as she was being stabbed. Of course, since you and Iba are one and the same, it's like you saved her, Date. But that was just a dream. It's not real. Saving her in Somnium won't save her now. I'm sorry.
Did the crime scene investigation team report anything?
No, nothing yet. They arrived a while ago, but that warehouse is owned by Okira Fishery.
I know. Iva, can you check to see if it's the Okuyura we know?
Searching.
I have Shinjuku. Alright. Well, why'd you call Shoko?
Come to think of it, I still haven't heard your explanation for this. 2 days ago, you called Shoko Nadami just after 9 p.m. Why?
That is a private matter that I will not discuss with you.
Okay. What's your alibi for Shoko's murder?
What were you doing at 5 p.m. 2 days ago?
Reading a book at home. You can ask my housekeeper or my bodyguards. They will confirm that for you.
That does match what the bodyguard said earlier.
But they're like family to him.
You could be
They
lying.
love telling a lie to protect their boss.
About Iris.
I've been telling you I don't know anything.
That's impossible. I saw Iris in your dream. You have to have some memory of her.
What are you talking about? I don't understand a word of this.
Alright. You killed her, didn't you?
I didn't.
Are you planning on acting dumb all night? How did you know Iris was stabbed?
I heard it.
What?
On my way to this place, I heard that woman over there talking. Something about a girl who got stabbed in the back.
Are you talking about me?
Yes, you.
I don't remember exactly what I said.
Hmm.
It's possible that I mentioned a body with stab wounds to the back.
Boss.
It is impossible to determine now. He very well may not have seen Iris's body.
No. He still must have.
Why was he?
He was in the warehouse.
Why was he there in the first place?
But does that mean we can conclude for certain that he saw the corpse?
Yeah.
Date, the investigation team is calling.
This is Date from Abyss. What happened? Sure, what is it?
You said you found a body at Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. The one at Ariake? Warehouse District?
Yes, that's right.
Huh. Okay.
Why? What happened?
Is it not there anymore? Yeah.
Not here.
What's not there?
We searched all over the warehouse. We didn't find any bodies.
Interesting. Someone else must have moved it.
What do you mean there's no body?
Yeah, we looked everywhere, but nothing.
Date, I am not doubting you. However, are you sure?
Yeah, we didn't have any video evidence of this because Aiba was low on battery. So it's just Date's word at this point.
Yes, I'm sure. I saw it. I know I saw it. I saw Iris's body with my own right eye.
Then perhaps someone moved the body. Between the time we left and CSI arrived.
No, there's another possibility.
There is?
Kumakura's? Or Hitomi? Maybe.
Date?
Iris!
What are you doing? Barging in without ringing the doorbell? Oh, you see, Mizuki ended up staying at my place. Something wrong?
The
Huh.
world
Interesting.
changed.
So maybe it was just his imagination that he saw it there. So what did he see in the first place then? There was something underneath the cloth.
Aiba and I saved Iris during the sink yesterday. She wasn't killed.
True, but that was only a dream.
Maybe the dream changed reality.
Impossible.
Or maybe the
How
body
else
was a
would you
fake.
explain it? Iris came back to life.
Yeah, the body must have been a fake. It also doesn't match the history of the rest of the bodies. That was the right eye that was missing, not the left. Alright, I guess I'll look at everything else first. Filled with the whips. Okay.
I thought I told you to stop with the wolf whistles.
And I told you not to flatter yourself. Hey, Date, who's cuter? The Matryoshka or Aiba?
First one.
I will carve out your insides and turn you into a Matryoshka.
You know, the kanji for chair comes out to strange mushroom. Makes me think of a man's strange mushroom, if you know what I mean.
Seriously, is that the only thing you can think about right now?
Alright, Mario.
Only money rained down from the sky.
If only I could control you with a remote. Make you do this, make you do that. I've been wondering, which balls are bigger? Yours or this soccer ball?
The soccer ball, obviously.
And she is lewd.
I can't believe it's not a raccoon.
What?
It's not a raccoon.
Where should I put old Jack here?
I thought his name was Bill.
Happy birthday to you. That song used to be copyrighted, you know? But now it's public domain and I can sing it to my heart's content. Don't you love it? So the darts board has all these holes and the tip of the dart goes in, right? It's kind of sexual, don't you think?
I do not understand. What is sexual about it?
You don't want to know.
She makes everything sexual.
I sleep with a different one every night. They're so fluffy.
Oh, body pillow.
Yep.
We should go skiing.
That was out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
Is that a no?
Of course it is. We're in the middle of an investigation.
What? You don't want to go night skiing on my bunny hills?
I will not allow such scandalous behavior.
I was just kidding. What are you, jealous?
There's a lot more lewd comments in this section.
Did you ever used to play with these rulers like a gun when you were in elementary school?
I don't know. I don't have any memories from back then, remember?
Consider it a good luck charm, so you don't drown when you sink. Merry Christmas.
It's November.
It's been here since the first time I was in this room.
Grandpa. Answer me, Grandpa.
I'm really worried about her mental health now. Alright, I think that's everything, pretty much.
Under no circumstances are you allowed to look under this rug. Do you understand?
What have you got under there?
Alright, Abba. About Okiura fishery.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious. I would suggest searching the warehouse again. You may be able to discover why Iris was resurrected.
A dream changing reality?
It is absurd. Not possible. Dreams are figments of the imagination. An incident which took place entirely in your mind cannot have any bearing on the real world. That is preposterous. Consider it. If you were to find money in your dream, does your bank account balance go up in reality? If you
Nice
were
if
to
it
be
did.
attacked by aliens in your dream, does a swarm of UFOs invade Earth?
But at the warehouse,
You must have been hallucinating. Within Mizuki's Somnium, you saw Iris's frozen corpse. It is affecting your mental state. Last night, you were so fazed by it that you couldn't speak. If it bothers you to this degree, why not go talk to Iris?
It might also be related to the dosages that I was talking about, because she was off. I might not have been able to give the dosages to him, which might have caused him to hallucinate. How about Renju?
Mizuki went to Bloom Park 3 nights ago. She was prompted by a Nile message from Renju.
Right.
There are 3 possibilities. 1. Renju killed Shoko, or was an accessory to the murder. 2. Renju was threatened or blackmailed into luring Mizuki to the scene. 3. The culprit used Renju's phone to send the Nile message. In any case, the motive is still unknown. We need to talk to Renju.
If we can get a hold of him.
Where did you go?
Or where is Iris now?
Her cell phone is on. I can trace her via GPS. She is currently somewhere in the Lemniscate building.
Okay. Do you know where Renju is?
You asked Mama at Marble for information regarding Renju Okiura, correct? It is possible she may have something for you by now.
I asked Momo for information too, but I had to promise him a meeting with Iris. Momo can wait for now.
We can talk to Iris's mom as well. She was Renju's classmate, right? Iba told me about her.
Alright, boss, about so.
Congressman Sejima is suspicious in more ways than one. Exhibit A. 3 days ago, So called Shoko Nadami's phone. We still don't know exactly why. He only told us it was meant to be private. Exhibit B. So Sejima was at Okiura Fishery Warehouse last night, but he didn't inform us of this. There must be something he doesn't want us knowing. Exhibit C. So was in Iris's Somnium. Dreams are constructed from memories, yet the good congressman denies he ever knew Iris.
Wait.
So was in Iris's Somnium.
That's a bit of a mistake there.
So was in Iris's Somnium. So was in Iris's Somnium.
Huh, okay. Iris was in So's Somnium. Of course, in the other timeline, So was in Iris's. But, yeah. Dream-changing reality?
Date and Iba saved Iris and Somnium, and that changed the history of the real world? Well, I guess it's not impossible.
That isn't what you said yesterday.
That was then, this is now. A woman's mind changes with the phases of the moon, you know?
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, I believe in Date. I trust him more than anyone else in Abyss.
About prophetic dreams.
Stranger things have been known to happen. 2 days ago, Date found Iris's frozen corpse in Mizuki's Somnium. It must have been a prophecy.
Boss.
There's a lot of stuff in this world that can't be explained by science.
Boss's knack for change is one of her good qualities. Not having beliefs is what she believes in. That's how she established herself as a major player in the police department. Because she believed what she wanted to. Where is So now?
I sent him home yesterday.
You released him?
What was I supposed to do? We can't hold him without solid proof. What we saw with Iris hasn't happened yet.
In any case, we have to speak with him again.
Probably not gonna get much out of him.
There are 4 people I should talk to. So Sajima, Iris and Hitomi Sagan, and Mama. And I need to check the warehouse one more time.
We have many avenues of investigation.
Let's get moving.
Alright, let's save my game here just in case. Let's actually take a look at what's new in here. Let's do the album first. We have these 2. There's MoMA. Huh. And what's his name? Rohan. And so. And some art for this ink machine. Alright. Appendix. There's a lot of stuff in here, alright. Shoizue Kurunushi, that's boss's real name, apparently. Alright. Saliva DNA tests. Connectum. Under current Japanese law, you cannot carry such a knife in public. Blade is 6 centimeters or more. It violates the firearms and swords law. If it's less, then it's a misdemeanor. Interesting. So 3 laws of robotics. And people, Mama. Nurse. Alright. Let's head to So's place and see if we can get anything out of him again. Probably can't, but it's worth a shot.
So Sajima is a key person of interest in this case. Earlier, the boss cited 3 points of suspicion against him, and I agree with her assessment. I checked the call logs of So's phones. Congressman Sajima has one phone under his name, and a burner phone rented under a fake name.
Did you find anything interesting?
Unfortunately, no.
Really?
But I do have something. I looked into So's secretary's phone. One call in particular stood out to me.
Huh?
It was 1 week ago. From Fuchu Prison.
Oh.
The caller identified themselves as inmate number 89.
Number 89?
Yes. This is most likely the same person who called HQ.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
Alright.
When you crash, the first thing you hit is the dash.
Interesting.
This box is where you keep your doves.
It's not a dove box.
Date, can I move the shifter around?
No, don't. Resist the urge.
Date, this reminds me of Egyptian mythology. Hathor, the mother of Ra. The mirror was one of her sacred symbols.
Wasn't she a cow or something?
Alright, Iba. What's he in jail for?
Murder. He is serving a life sentence for multiple counts. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
Right, because he was
6 years ago.
the original killer, as far as we know. What's his name?
Unknown.
You don't know?
He is not registered in any databases. He could be a foreigner or recent immigrant, but it would be impossible to determine from where. However, I did not detect any accent in his speech. I believe we can conclude that he grew up in Japan.
Alright, and who is he?
From what I can determine, he is an assassin. He accepts jobs from the criminal underworld for substantial rewards. His code name is Falco.
Falco?
Correct.
What's the relationship between So and number 89?
Unknown. You would have to ask Mr. Sajima for that information.
Number 89 said he knew who killed Shoko.
He did. But that may be a lie.
Does he have any connections to the Cyclops serial killings?
Unknown. In all honesty, I have no idea.
Alright.
Number 89.
Should we visit Fuchu Prison?
No, we don't have time. Call up boss. Tell her to request that number 89 be brought to Abyss.
Roger.
Alright, so I guess after this string of investigations, we get to talk to him again.
I heard there was no body found at the cold storage warehouse. Isn't your investigation over?
Not necessarily.
Iba, look! A merman!
So is a wealthy politician. It is no surprise to me that he has a merman. Wait, a merman?
Oh, hey everybody! I'm a merman.
I had a strange voice just now. Could it be? Okay.
Speaking of gardens, what kind do you prefer?
I like a well-manicured lawn. But some bushes aren't bad either. I mean, what?
Why were you at the warehouse?
I told you I will not answer that question.
Why?
And why not? We didn't find anything there. There's nothing to hide.
It appears that he will not respond.
Well, why'd you call Shoko?
You are beginning to irritate me.
What did you want to talk to her about? What is the private matter you mentioned? What is your relationship with her?
I'll answer your questions when you present a warrant.
About Iris.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know that girl. I've never seen her before.
Date.
I knew he was lying.
Uh-huh.
This proves it.
I am having difficulty determining his motive for lying. After all, Iris was not killed.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a secret with her he doesn't want us knowing.
Is he an ACID fan? About number 89.
Number 89? Who is that?
An inmate at Fuchu prison. He used to go by Falco. He was an assassin.
Odd, finding such a person in Japan. What about him?
About a week ago, he called your secretary.
I don't know anything about that. He was probably calling for a pardon or some such nonsense. My secretary probably decided it wasn't worth my attention. If you need information, you can ask her. I can't help you.
Alright, I guess we will ask them then.
Haven't you people got enough? I'm very busy. Excuse me. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing to tell you. To be honest, Kaname Date, I don't like you. I don't ever want to see you again. So I suggest that you don't show your face here anymore. It's what's best for both of us. Understand?
Hmm.
Who does this guy think he is?
Date, your blood pressure is skyrocketing. Any higher could kill you. Relax, Date. We still have much to do.
I know.
Alright, let's head to Marble.
You need more info on Ren? I'm sorry to waste your time, but I don't have anything for you.
I see.
Dang, alright.
Care to watch some riveting videos with balls and holes?
Sorry, I don't like golf.
Hey Date, you know what I say when I turn into a drunk devil?
Dev Ale. You're so cold, Mama.
Hey, I'm over here.
Hey, Mama. What's with the pizza, fish, and chips?
People used to call me that on the internet all the time. Guess it's stuck.
Pizza, fish, and chips. Ah, I see. Piece of fucking shit.
Okay.
This, however, appears to be a simple Italian pizza with fish and french fries.
Okay. Taxi drives her. It's a poster for something. I like how it says a flyer with an I on the wall, but then a flyer with a Y in the text. It's kind of weird. Alright, let's talk to Mama. Why are you always brushing that fish?
I find it calming.
Why is that?
Don't ask me.
About Renju.
You know about Renju and the Kumakura gang, right?
Yeah, I know. I heard it from his own mouth right here.
Do they have anything to do with the talent scandal at Lemniscate?
The talent
Now
scandal?
They do, since Renju is the president of Lemniscate. But even before that, Renju and the Kumakuras go way back. All the way back to high school.
Hey, Date. Have you ever seen a dead body?
I remember Renji's saying that to me after he and I went through the bottle.
You're a policeman. I don't know what department, but I assume you aren't handing out traffic tickets. So, how about it?
I didn't answer. I turned the question around on him.
What about you?
Me? Well, yeah. Not just one. Countless bodies.
Hmm.
When I was in high school, I had a pretty crazy job. You know the Kumakura gang? I was hooked up to one of their phone fraud scams. I just had to go collect the money from drop points and give it to the Kumakuras. It was an easy job. Eventually, I became friends with the higher-ups. They started taking me with them on jobs.
What jobs?
The target was always an elderly person from the country with no family. Elderly folk who owned a lot of land, you know? They live every day in loneliness and desperation. You just have to be nice to them. That's all it takes. Guys would get to know the old people and they would set up an adoption process. After that, you just have to get them really drunk. Throw them in the tub full of hot water. And they pass. Just like that. Heart attack, brain hemorrhage, or they simply go to sleep and drown. The police almost never investigated. It always looked natural, like they died of old age. So the adopted gang members would inherit the land. Then we sell it and make massive profits. I watched a lot of people get killed like that. And I've seen journalists get killed for getting too close to the truth. So Why am I telling you all this? Are you going to arrest me?
I took a sip from my glass. I didn't say anything for a while.
You didn't do it yourself, right?
No, I was always the lookout. But still... Date,
Tears fell to the counter, unending. But he didn't say another word until the ice in the glasses melted to nothing. Huh. And how's it going?
Well, I could use a little help down there, if you know what I mean.
I do not know what she means. Perhaps you should take her up on her offer.
No.
Absolutely not.
Oh, no thanks, Eva. Right, about number 89.
Oh, Falco?
You know him?
I know him as a famous assassin in the underworld. Just rumors, though. Nothing specific.
What kind of rumors?
He's good. 100% success rate. No evidence. He was a world-class killer.
Did you ever meet him?
Nope. I don't even know what he looks like.
Any other info?
I know he's connected to the Kumakuras somehow.
Them again.
Well, that's about it.
Summarize for me.
I don't have anything else for you. Sorry, I'm not much help.
No, don't worry about it.
Can you come back again tonight? There's a regular here who is good friends with Ren. They should be here tonight. If you ask him, he might have some information for you.
Tonight?
Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Good to know. Alright, let's go to these Hagan residents. Talk with Iris.
I apologize for
Tommy.
yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
No, I didn't do anything.
Date, a riddle. A man-eating alligator lives in a river. There are no bridges or boats. How do you cross?
Well, let's see. You jump across?
Do you walk on top of the alligator, or get inside and cross that way?
Wrong. The solution is simple. You just swim across.
But what about the man-eating alligator?
He's at a convention out of town. He isn't in the river.
Of course. Anything here? Or
I've
picture?
been wondering about that picture.
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Yes,
And who's on the right?
the man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but
That's Iris's the father,
I met him about 6 years ago.
if I had to guess.
Have you been to the Kume Shrine?
Actually, no,
in
that wouldn't be the
Minato
case.
District? I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice. Well, more like a groan. Behind the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach. I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then he kissed me. I
I've
was
heard that
shocked
story.
when I stared into his eyes. Then I heard footsteps, and then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go. Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
You took him to a mob doctor?
Renju's friend. I only met him once. Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together. The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement park. But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm. He had that cute side to him. And I was falling in love. Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know, but we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed. I don't think we ever said I love you, but we both knew. We were getting closer and closer.
Parked a car near the warehouse, huh?
I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him. Iris never had a father figure in her life before. She warmed up to him immediately and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park. Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh. Every day was so exciting. Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture. He wanted to make okonomiyaki one day. He was working with the hot plate. It was ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head. Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time. I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back. Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight. After our battle, we laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it. It's nostalgic.
That's nice.
But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, in November, a man with a gun broke into our house.
Maybe Rohan.
Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time, but my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop. He pulled the trigger
And shot you in the shoulder instead.
The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime. I don't know the details, but it was awful. So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had heard that that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true. I lied about it at the time, because of Mizuki. Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too. I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
That I was dating a criminal. It was her father figure. Iris looked up to him. If she found out about his past...
The drawing on the wall. Iris drew it when she was 12. Must be a sign of good news and hope. Tea. Workbooks. How to handle a monster parent. And pineapples growing in the corner. That's what I thought anyway, but then I realized it was just a plant. Alright, let's talk to her. Isn't it? It's Monday, isn't it? A school day?
Today's a holiday. I suppose there's never a day off for a detective. Oh, but you aren't a detective, right?
Technically, yes. But I still deal with crime.
I see. Today is a holiday.
You forgot too, didn't you?
Alright, where's Renju?
Did something happen to him? You asked me that yesterday.
There's no point in hiding it. I told her about Renju's disappearance.
Right from the hospital? I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Well, what about Iris?
I've put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy." I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me.
What about your parents?
They died when I was 17. I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away. They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school. It it wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
Take care of Iris.
Yes, all alone. But Renju would help sometimes. It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park. It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such. She loved singing and dancing, even as a kid. Whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers. And she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song, Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them. I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited. Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. Mama, you're a good dancer. That's the kind of girl she was. Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping, even at convenience stores, when their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by. It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing, but she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly. It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care. I was carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance? She cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time.
Which was?
6 years ago, I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running, and she was sobbing.
Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what. Iris is everything to me, more important than my own life.
Date, we can't spend time reminiscing. We have to get moving.
Right.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, is that everything? I think so. Alright, well, I'm going to leave it here for now. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you guys